Um, as I said, there was a lot of arty-fire yesterday. Probably it was rocket attack, grad firing last night. A lot of it. But since morning, it has been calm. And our train was stuck, like would have been in Kyiv by now. It was stuck, but they're telling us, one, because they're expecting likely action. Secondly, because... Telephone would be right. Telephone have... No, it's not telephone. I'm reporting live. It's not telephone. It's not video. It's reporting live. Okay. Not telephone, no video. No video. It's live. I'm talking. Only me. Okay. I'm sorry I've been interrupted by Ukrainian police.
Problem.
I'm telling them not recording any video. It's just live TV. It's not recording. Okay. Okay? You want to speak? It's a near recording. Phone? Okay, Shiv, I have to give my phone to the police for some time. I'll come back to you again in 45 minutes.
That's not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem, Rajesh.
Okay, I'll just go off for the time being.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. Please be safe. Please be safe, Rajesh. Okay, so Akshita, you know what we just saw was a live television moment from a conflict zone. Obviously, security is extremely high. People are on edge. The security forces themselves are, they're not ready to trust anyone. So they have to be very careful as well. So obviously, the Ukrainian police just doing its job there.
Yeah. And we'll check up on Rajesh in a bit to ensure that everything is okay. But what you just saw was the Ukrainian police, I think, Shiv, who stopped by, said, don't record anything on your phone. And he was trying to communicate also that he was live with us. So we will check up on Rajesh in just a bit. In the meanwhile, I want to take this across to Gaurav Sawant. He's also reporting from Mariupol. And if you've been watching us here on India Today, watching extensive reports by Gaurav, you know that he's been trying hard to get out of Mariupol. Completely impossible because all rail traffic, road traffic, all of it has been stopped. This city has been completely isolated. And Gaurav tells us that's a situation in many, many parts. Gaurav, what's happening where you are? The last time you joined us about 30 minutes ago, we could hear shelling around you.
Shiv, did you see what happened just now?
We did.
Because unlike Gaurav, I'm reporting with my mobile phone and I had to hold my mobile phone in front of me at a distance. And the police thought I'm recording the streets. Did you see that what happened? This policeman came to me.
We saw that and we're going to put that sequence on air in exactly 30 seconds. Tell us what happened.
And it proves a point. I made a point to you in the morning that this war is very different war. We cannot look at this war from the lens of India-Pakistan wars or India-China war. It's a very different war. It's a hybrid war. Why these police people stopped was because they thought I'm filming the road, a normal road, which we have been filming every day. Because they fear that militia has infiltrated. They are not in uniforms. They're not carrying weapons. You cannot identify them. They speak the same language. So this is a militia which is filming all strategic locations, all important locations, giving live feed to the Russian forces. And this is what they want to prevent. And that is the reason this policeman came. They were so suspicious and they want to check it. So I want to reiterate my point, what I told in the morning, that this is a hybrid war. And in this psychological warfare, propaganda warfare, and this kind of militia infiltration, helping regular troops in carrying out operations is unforeseen in the last few decades. Over to you, Shiv.
Rajesh, just once more, since we saw what happened to you live here on India Today, and then you had to switch off the live so that you could speak to the police officer. I just want to understand from you, what did they seek? Because they took your phone, is what we understand. They took your phone and checked its contents to see if you were recording?
Yes, you see, I told you I have to report with the phone, and my phone is like I'm recording something. It looks like that. They took my phone and they were very aggressive initially. Whereas they calm down, I'm Indian, and I speak a little bit of Russian. Generally, people are okay with Indians. They know I'm not Russian now. And they immediately told me to open my gallery, photo gallery, video gallery. They checked all of this and then say, it's okay, it's fine.
Okay. So we're going to play out that sequence. Rajesh was live with us, Shiv, when this played out, where he was stopped by a police official, Ukrainian police officer, who wanted to check his phone, asked him if he was recording footage of empty streets, mind you, of empty streets that Rajesh was showing us on live, and then they checked his phone, and he's back live with us right now.
It's, Rajesh, people are on edge, obviously. One can't blame them. Obviously, this is a country at war. Like you said, there's so much going on that nobody wants to take any chances. I'm guessing we're going to see much more of that. What did that policeman actually ask you?
Look, Shiv, Everybody's on edge here.
Yeah.
This is a town which is just 8 kilometers away from the front line. There was heavy shelling last night, a lot of rocket being fired, not on civilian areas, mind you, not on the residential blocks, but on the Ukrainian position, military positions on the front line. So everybody's on edge. All people who had money or young people have already left the town. Most of the people you see around are old people. And the police was tipped by an old lady, indicating to them there's a man recording the street. See the amount of consciousness they have now. And they're afraid. They don't know who's supporting Ukraine in the population, who's supporting Russia. So it's a kind of chaos here that way. Nobody knows who's the enemy and who's the friend. These policemen, they came to me very aggressively, 3 of them, and with their faces covered with a black mask, and they said, stop, what you're doing, And I said, oh, no, I'm just on live on TV, I'm not recording anything. They took my camera, they told me to open the gallery, they checked all the photos and videos in my phone. Sure.
They checked all the videos and photos on your phone, people on edge. Yeah, not something that's entirely beyond imagination, because people are on edge, people are tense. There's a lot of distrust, between persons right now. Are you seeing that as well among citizens, Rajesh?
Look, our interaction, this is a very small town, Shiv.
Yeah.
This is a town which was built around basically 2 steel factories and the people who were working initially. It's also a small port, so not too many people here. But I can tell you, young people are a bit scared. Old people look very resolute. All these people who have seen wars in the past, they are like hardened people, as if they're all soldiers in a way. Old women, old men, they don't look so scared, and they look very security conscious. I'm amazed at these people, their spirit. As an Indian, I'm really amazed. I wish we had something like that in our country as well. They look resolute, and they're not living, and this is an old woman, probably 80-year-old, who tipped the police against me, that probably somebody's recording this. Imagine the kind of consciousness they have, the readiness they have, and they look resolute. These are the people, these old people. I'm sure I don't know about the young people. These are the old people who will fight till the end.
That spirit is something that we've been talking about, Shiv. Almost every Ukrainian we've spoke to, they've said that no matter how old we are, our families are, we're out there to fight Russia as well. And I think based on what happened to Rajesh also, I think that would explain largely why the streets in places like Mariupol are so empty. People want to avoid any sort of confrontation. Am I right, Rajesh? And that's why perhaps they're all staying indoors. They know that this situation right now is very volatile, that this could in fact go anyway, and they could face what you just faced.
Look, this is advisory from the government as well, which has advised people to stay indoors. Even in the metropolis like Kyiv and other big cities, Odessa is already under Russian control now. All the shops, everything is closed except for one odd grocery shop here and there and the pharmacies. Everything is closed as it is, and this is as per government orders. Not many people out, people are afraid, people are in panic. And they have a system here in Russia and Ukraine. All people have an apartment in the city, and they have a small, they call dacha, somewhere in the village side, where they grow vegetables. A lot of people from big cities have already moved to their dachas because they fear that the cities will be targeted by the Air Force, by the missiles, by the rockets. And that's the reason they have moved out to the dachas right now. Over to you.
Rajesh, by when do you think you're going to be able to get out of Mariupol? That train's still not moving. The situation is still tense. You're kilometers away. Okay, Rajesh, we've got that sequence of when your phone was snatched by that policeman. I want to just play that out. It's on our screen right now. Take us through precisely what happened, step by step, Rajesh.
Reporting live. I was reporting, I was live with you, and I do not have a TV camera. I'm doing it from my phone.
Yeah.
So I have to hold my phone in my hand, in front of my face, and to an outsider, it will appear as if I'm recording something. And there was an old woman who tried to follow me for some time, so I walked fast because I was live on TV. I didn't want to be interrupted. And then she tipped these 3 policemen. They came in a car, stopped suddenly, and aggressively moved towards me and told me to stop and asked for my phone. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not recording anything. I'm just live on TV and I'm not recording anything. They just told me to give my phone to them. And then I had to give my phone to them. They checked my gallery, all my photos, all videos, and then told them I'm an Indian journalist and I'm with Ukraine. I'm not against you and I'm not recording anything. And then they smiled, said, okay, and gave it back to me.
Rajesh, just stay with us because we want to play out that sequence. You told us exactly what's happened in great detail. Let's play out that moment. Rajesh was live with us when this happened.
Video is reaction. Secondly, because telephone would be right. Telephone have no, it's not telephone. I'm reporting live. It's not telephone. It's not video. It's reporting live. Okay. Not telephone. No video. No video. It's live. I'm talking. Only me. Okay. I'm sorry. I've been interrupted by Ukrainian police. I'm telling them not recording any video. It's just live TV. It's not recording. Okay. 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 You want to speak? It's a near recording. Phone. Okay, Shiv, I have to give my phone to the police for some time. I'll come back to you again after 5 minutes, okay? Okay. I'll just go off for the time being. Please, have a look. Okay. Video reaction. Secondly, because telephone would be right. Telephone have no, it's not telephone. I'm reporting live. It's not telephone. It's not video. It's reporting live. Okay. Not telephone. No video. No video. It's live. I'm talking. Only me. Okay.
Rajesh, one final question before we let you go for just this moment. The tensions kilometers from where you are appear to be unchanged right now. Even though it's calm in the city of Mariupol itself, it does look like there is shelling and rocket fire possibly happening not very far from your location. The journey from Mariupol to Kyiv as well is being looked at as possibly risky because there is fighting happening on the way as well. And that's why you're stuck. Do you see this situation changing soon?
Look, Shiv, I don't want to create panic in the parents whose children are studying here. There is no such danger on the roads. Cars are moving. Intercity movement is happening in private cars, in taxis. And now these people, the railway people, have arranged for buses for these passengers to be taken to Dnipro by bus from here, which is about 4 hours distance and the biggest train station in Ukraine. And from there, they'll get another train to move to Kyiv. So please, I do not want to spread this panic amongst the parents who are watching your channel right now and whose children are studying in Ukraine. Intercity movement is very much possible. There is no bombardment going on the roads and people are moving smoothly. Nobody has been killed on the road so far. So students can move. They can move from wherever they are in smaller towns to Kyiv or to the cities designated by Indian Embassy. Everything is possible. The buses are going now. They will take the passengers to Dnipro and these passengers will get another train to take them to Kyiv very soon. Shiv.
Rajesh, stay safe, my friend. Thank you very much for being with me. We'll keep connecting with you. I want to take our viewers straight now. To an image that's just been tweeted by Member of Parliament from Ukraine, Kyiv Rudik. And she joins us live now. I want to put that image on air that Kyiv Rudik has just put on her social media. I want to point our cameras at that picture on the screen. Give me that image in the next 10 seconds. We have Kyiv Rudik, who's a Member of Parliament from the Ukrainian Congress with us live. Kyiv, thank you very much for speaking to us. This image of you holding a Kalashnikov rifle has gone viral. You've told people that you've learned how to use a Kalashnikov and prepare to bear arms. It sounds surreal, as just a few days ago, it would never come to my mind. Our women will protect our soil the same way as our men. Go Ukraine. Kyiv, what's going through your mind? Tell us about what you were thinking when you picked up this weapon. This video, this picture has gone viral.
I was very, very angry when the war started. I am still very angry because I don't understand how the neighbor country and Putin can deny Ukraine the right to exist. And I'm very angry that I have to maybe leave my town and that my family is threatened and that we all we are all put under the threat just because the crazy dictator is telling us so. And that's why I decided I want to bear arms. I want to stay here in Kyiv, and I'm staying here. I'm protecting my family, and I'm organizing the resistance group that is fighting Russians on our streets, because they need to go back to where they came from our soil, because we are an independent country, and we will protect our sovereignty no matter what. Because I want my children to live in Ukraine that I'm building for them, not some Vladimir Putin.
Kyiv, is this the first time that you've picked up a weapon? You've said something like this would never cross your mind before this. Is this the first time that you picked up a Kalashnikov rifle?
Yes. This is the first time I ever picked any weapon.
What did you do with the weapon? Are you training to use that weapon right now? You've put out this picture which has inspired a lot of people. What did you do with the weapon? Are you training how to use it now?
Yes, I'm training along with my troop. We are training to be able to use it and to protect ourselves against Russian soldiers.
Do you think other women are going to come forward and do the same thing, Kira? Do you think a lot of other women who are looking at this, do you know other women who have picked up their weapons as well?
Yes, there are many women. There are many my colleagues who picked up weapon. We have 9 women in our parliamentary faction, and 9 of them picked up the weapon.
Where is this weapon from, Kira? Is it an army weapon? Is it your personal weapon? Where are you getting these weapons from?
This is an army weapon that they gave us to be able to protect myself.
And can you tell us a little bit about how you are training? Because this is, after all, a lethal firearm. How are you training to use it? Can you tell us a little bit? Because people are watching you. They are being inspired by this image. They want to understand. This weapon has been supplied by the army to citizens so everyone can stand up and fight. Can you tell us a little bit about how you are learning to use it?
So we have a guy a soldier who has been fighting the war in the East, and he's training us. He's showing us, first of all, how not to harm ourselves and the people around us, how to be careful, how to clean it up, how to store it, and of course, how to shoot it.
Is there what did it feel like holding that weapon? I don't want to be insensitive because this is a dangerous time. You know, firearms are not something to be joked about or toyed with, but someone who never thought they would hold a weapon like this, Kira, what did it feel like holding a weapon like this?
It's scary and powerful at the same time. But this makes me feel like at the time when I will have to protect my country, I will be able to do so. It will not be a Russian soldier against me, just like disarmed. It will be like an equal fight. And I will want to give it an equal fight.
You're saying that no matter what happens, nobody will give in without a fight. That's what you're saying. It's do or die for Ukrainians.
Right.
Do you feel sad, Kira, that it has come to this? For someone like you, who's a member of parliament, who says that you never thought you would actually pick up a weapon, now an image of you going viral, holding a Kalashnikov rifle, you're saying that you feel, powerful holding that weapon, but does it also make you feel sad that you had to pick up this weapon?
Of course, it makes me sad. However, right now, the question of if the war would start did not pick up, like it was not Ukraine's choice. They just, at 5 a.m., 2 days ago, Putin just announced that there will be war. That's it. And that's why it's very sad that there is no going back to the life that we had it before. But it's also, I want to do everything so we would have a chance to have this life, a chance to have a life where things will be just like before.
How has your family reacted to this, Kira, to this image of you holding a weapon? What did they think? What did they say to you?
My partner is armed as well, and he's supporting me.
And your friends, because many people will look at this and they'll say, oh my God, where have we reached? Is anybody looking at this and being worried about you?
Most of my friends are bearing arms as well.
Okay, most of your friends are also bearing arms. Akshita is also with me. She also wants to ask you some questions. Kira, go ahead, Akshita.
Kira, I just wanted to say, woman to woman, how inspiring it is to see that kind of a picture, and especially when you write, our women will protect our soil the same way as our men. That message itself, I'm sure, will resonate with so many women across the world. As someone, Kira, and I can completely relate to what you're saying about feeling strong, but at the same time scared and a sense of fear. Because to hold a Kalashnikov in your arms, perhaps that's when it truly hits you. Reality sinks in that you're in a war. And I want to understand from you that feeling that you had, the fear that you have, and whether holding this kind of a Kalashnikov gives you a sense of security also now.
Right. It gives me, it gives me a sense of hope. And it's much better when you have it around the house. I can show it to you right now.
Please do, please do. Okay, so that's Kira holding her weapon. You've been. Can you show it to us once again, Kira? Can you just hold it up for the camera once? We just want to see how. Okay, so that's a Kalashnikov in Kira's hands. You've been holding it since yesterday, Kira. Have you gotten used to holding it?
It's heavy. It is heavy.
We are digesting these images right now with you, Kira. I can tell you that we do not feel disconnected from you or from Ukraine right now. Both Akshita and I sitting here, my colleague, we're looking at you. Millions of Indians are watching you, your picture here on India Today. And I can tell you that it's sending out a message. It is sending out a message that there is patriotism, there is fearlessness, but also there is a lot of sadness that proud people like yourselves, members of parliament and others and citizens, are actually pushed to the edge of a situation where they feel the need to pick up arms. That's the scary part. And, we feel a lot of solidarity with you. Both me and Akshita, all of us here in India feel solidarity with you. But I want to also ask you this. You said that holding that weapon had a lot of hope for you. It makes you feel hopeful. Are you hopeful that things will settle down peacefully? Or do you think things are going to get worse?
So I think that Putin did not expect the resistance that he got in Ukraine. He did not expect it. And right now there is 3,000 Russian soldiers killed in just 2 days. So I hope that he will change his mind and take back his troops, so to keep the soldiers alive. And then we can go back to normal. And then I can give the Kalashnikov up. And then we can all pretend that when we are telling our children and teaching them to go down to the ground when the siren is on, that it was all just like a dream, it was just a game. Because I don't want to have this new reality where we have to teach our children how to go to the bomb shelter. However, if this wouldn't happen, if he wouldn't take back his troops, then we will have to stand for every inch of our soil, and we will do. And I'm ready, and I'm ready for that. And whole Ukraine is ready for that. Because people who were who fled the city, now coming back, armed, now coming back with more equipment, now coming back to protect the city, to defend it. Because there is no way Putin can have a capital. There is just no way.
The symbolism also, Kira, is very significant. It's important. The Kalashnikov is a famous Russian weapon, and you're holding a Kalashnikov. I'm not talking about the fact that it's a Russian weapon. That happens. We're talking about the old Soviet Union. What I want to ask you is, what kind of message do you think your image has sent out to Russia at this point of time? With the number of shares and retweets on social media, I'm sure thousands of Russians have also seen your image. What kind of message do you think has gone to the people of Russia?
That every single Ukrainian man and woman are ready to fight. We did not start this war. We were peaceful people who were just living their lives in their country, not threatening anybody, just working our daily lives and moving to the better life for us and ourselves and our children. And then the enemy came in. And people like myself, who were not ever supposed to bear arms in their life, now have to stand up and fight. Fight for what we believe in. Fight men and women shoulder to shoulder. Fight old and young shoulder to shoulder. Not to conquer anything, not to take something from people, but to protect what is ours, our freedom, our country, and our nation. And this is what we will do, all like one.
Kira, your message, I'm sure, is resonating across the world, and that image of you holding up the Kalashnikov for us is something that is seared in our heads right now, something that we will remember about this particular conflict and war and what it's done to so many people, so many women. A parliamentarian right now holding a Kalashnikov for her safety, for her family's safety, for her country's safety. I want to understand from you, Kira, also, where are you right now? How are you ensuring, you and your family are safe? You've got a Kalashnikov with you, but every time you hear a siren going off, every time you hear bombing and shelling, what's going through your head? How are you keeping yourself safe?
So we live in a house, and we have stairs where I used to keep all my shoes, shoe boxes, right?
Yeah, like a shoe cupboard.
That you put under the stairs because this is the only place where they can be. And I had to remove all of that junk. And this is where I put my yoga mat. And then my family and myself, then we go under the stairs when the siren is on. And we wait until the siren is off. We listen to the shells. And sometimes we pray, sometimes we sing songs, sometimes we fool around, and sometimes we sleep. And then we go back like things didn't happen. I'm still, so last time we were playing a game, how many shoe boxes could have been here if I organized them correctly? So, this is so surreal for us, for a peaceful country.
I can imagine.
Have it happening right now. That your mind has just to deal with it different ways.
Kira, if you don't mind me asking, how old are your children? And you've got a gun, you've got a Kalashnikov in the house now. How do you keep their spirits up? Because that perhaps would also hit them that, look, there's a war going on.
So I'm not public about my family at all.
Sure.
So I would prefer not to answer this, but I'm very scared. I can tell you a different story. Let me tell you. So
sure.
I read this on the internet that instead of telling kids that you have to go down to the ground, you call it a turtle game. So that you have to go on your belly, open your mouth, and close your ears, because you pretend that you're a turtle. And we pretend that we are turtles many times.
My God.
I hope, Kira, and I'm sure you're hoping as well, that you don't need to pick up that weapon and fire it in anger. I hope, I know, can you confirm that for us, that you don't want to, you're hoping that you don't need to use that weapon? The fact that you've picked it up is bad enough, for someone who never needed to pick up a weapon, but you're hoping you never need to use it.
Yeah. I really hope that at some point I will have to just return it back to where I took it and just said, thank God I never needed it.
Kira Rudik, it's, you used the word surreal just now. I cannot tell you how surreal it is for us to hear it from all this distance away, because we feel what you're feeling, and your message has gone out to millions of people here on India Today and everywhere else in the world. So I thank you, Kira, for giving us your time. We wish you and your family well. Thank you for sharing something very, very personal with us. It means something, because it also sends out a message about what's happening in your country. And you don't only speak for yourself, you speak perhaps for all Ukrainians today. And women who you've said should be galvanized to actually fight shoulder to shoulder with the men in Ukraine who are out there fighting as well. So we wish you well, we wish you safety, and both Akshita and I truly hope you never need to use that Kalashnikov. Thank you, Kira, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, we're all personally touched, Shiv, by that conversation. I think very often it's these kind of conversations that really hit you and what we're up against as a world, as the human race, really, that a parliamentarian, a woman just like any of us, is forced to pick up a Kalashnikov to protect her family. And the kind of stories she told us about how she's trying to shield her children, the stories she's having to tell them to spread positivity and hope in these extremely dark times. Those stories really, truly numbing there. And we're going to continue getting you more such voices here on India Today. As in fact we try to move on from that very, very stirring conversation and get you more voices from the ground, I also want to introduce our other guest with us on this broadcast. Dr. Hannah Shelest is with us, Director of Security Programs of Foreign Policy Council. Dr. Shelest, thank you for staying on with us for so long. I'm not sure if you had a chance to listen to the conversation that we just had with one of the parliamentarians from Ukraine, with Kira. And, you know, it's hit us so much about how Ukraine right now is coming together as one. All of you have come together saying that, look, we're not going to let this be a walkover for Russia.
Yes, surely. I heard perfectly what Kira said, and I'm following what she's doing because I know many of the members of parliament who yesterday took the weapons in Kyiv, but I also know a lot of people, just regular Ukrainians, who joined territorial defense all around the country. It seems to me that this unity surprised the world, but not Ukraine. And one of the reasons was that for many years, the Russian Federation tried to impose a narrative that Ukraine is a divided country, that their policy being based on this. They tried to present that east and west of country as something very different. And it seems to me that was their biggest underestimation, because from the very first day of the Russian military build-up, especially when the open aggression started, Ukraine united despite the political differences, religious differences, or any even ethnic groups, because predominantly Ukraine is Ukrainian, but we have very big ethnic groups of Moldovan, Romanian, Bulgarian, Hungarian, Polish, Jewish, Armenian, and all of them are now supporting. And we see, like yesterday, the Greek businessman with a very big developer here in Odessa, he opened all his buildings, the parking for people as the shelters, and he supplied it with food by his own money. And you definitely see how businessmen are spending millions, and at the same time, how people are spending millions. For you just to imagine, only yesterday, around $3 million being raised only by one charity from just Ukrainians who've been transferring money for the armed forces. Not speaking about the big business or other organizations that gave charity support. That's just what you can do in your mobile banking for 30 seconds, and that's how Ukrainians been supporting their armed forces.
Dr. Shelest, thank you for joining us. You know, the world is watching Ukraine, and there are so many of these stories of Ukrainians rallying together, making it very clear that they're going to ensure that there's a fight back that Russia is going to remember and will not let this be a walkover for Russia. And those stories are something that's truly inspiring. The world is watching you, as I mentioned. Dr. Shelest, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. We're also getting you reports of what's playing out on the ground here in Ukraine, of what's happening as far as evacuations are concerned for Indian nationals as well as others. There are many Ukrainians also, Shiv, who are currently fleeing from Ukraine, particularly towards other countries like Poland, where Abha is.
Abha, really good to see you, my friend. You're on the Ukraine-Poland border, western part of a war-torn country. I hope you're doing okay. You've had a long journey there. What's the situation? You've been speaking to many of those people. We're going to put those pictures on air as well, Abha. Incredible. You're in the conflict zone now at a time when there's a crisis unfolding.
Thanks, Shiv. Yes, it's been a journey getting here. Where I am right now is Medica. Medica is at the border of Poland and Ukraine on the western side, like you just said.
Yeah.
We are on the Polish side. We've been speaking to a whole host of people that have been coming in from Ukraine, pouring in. The Polish, in fact, being incredibly helpful, supportive, trying to do what they can. I want to give you some context first for what's happening on the Ukrainian side. There are queues miles long. People have been having to wait a day to get in. Some of them have been stuck in their cars. Some of them have gotten down and been trying to walk over on foot. And those are also some of the visuals that you might be seeing. And we've been speaking to a whole host of these people. Absolutely tragic. They've left families behind. They've left their men and partners behind to fight in the war. They're completely shaken up, bringing over little kids and other family members and coming to meet friends or any relative that they have on the Polish side. I also have been speaking to several Indians here on ground. I have Sangeet with me right here. Sangeet, tell me, are you waiting for some relatives as well?
No, we are part of the contingency of Indian community trying to help out our people coming from the Ukrainian side. I've come from Berlin all the way, traveling for 14 hours, reaching here to help out the Indian community, expecting them to come out any moment.
Okay, so and what are you hearing? What's taking them so long?
So what I understand from the other side is that the preference has been given to the Ukrainians to foreigners, including Indians, are kept in another.
Okay, there's a signal glitch there. We'll get back to Abha. Obviously, she's right there. Okay, Abha, yeah, go ahead. We lost you for a moment. Go ahead, Abha.
If it's still there. Yeah. So, no, essentially what's happening is that from Ukraine to come into Medica, to come into the Poland side is taking a very long time because there are scores of cars, trucks, vans, people that have been lining up to get into this side. And that's the problem. They've lost network. They don't have food. They've been there for hours. People on this side are camping out in their cars, waiting to see when they'll come in. Authorities have been sending people. We have been meeting contingencies here, as you just heard from Sanjeev, who are here from the Indian side. They've traveled in from Berlin, from other parts, from neighboring countries to see what they can do to help. NGOs are here. They've set up relief stalls, whether it be food, whether it be blankets. And of course, those who have relatives are here to greet them as well, to try and see whatever little that they can offer at this stage. But it's quite tragic. And the one message that's coming in loud here is just the it's honestly, I mean, to use the word hatred, but it's just hatred for Putin in particular. Like if you just speak to everyone that's coming in through the Ukraine side, whatever nationality they may be, they are in tears, and there is just so much hatred for the kind of displacement that they're feeling right now, for shaking up their lives, for people who've been walking over on foot for hours and hours to try and get to this side. And they say they have no option. They have to flee because that's what's happening to their country. There is nowhere to stay. We were looking at perhaps crossing over and going to Lviv, which is the closest town across the border. But we've been
bit of a problem there with Abba's signal, but Abba reporting for us from the Ukraine-Poland border about the influx of Ukrainians, refugees, all of them trying hard to leave Ukraine, considering how things are unfolding. As promised here on India Today, we're getting you a 360-degree coverage. Every aspect, we've got a reporter out there on the ground covering in these challenging circumstances.
Leaving you with these images for 30 seconds. Our rolling coverage continues 30 seconds from now after this very short break. Stay with India Today. You will miss nothing from this unfolding crisis right here with our reporters on the ground. Stay with India Today.
Просто жесть. Прикидываешь дома сидеть?